നമസ്കാരം. നമ്മുടെ മലയാളം FM 104.6 ഇൻ്റർവ്യൂ സീരീസ് അറിഞ്ഞതും അറിയാത്തതും. ഞാൻ സിന്ധു പുനൂസ്. എന്നോടൊപ്പം ചേരുന്നു ഫസ്റ്റ് എവർ മിസസ് കേരള ന്യൂസിലൻഡിൻ്റെ ഫസ്റ്റ് റണ്ണറപ്പ് ജാനറ്റ് ജോളി ആലപ്പാട്ട്. സ്വാഗതം ജാനറ്റ് നമ്മുടെ ഈ ഷോയിലേക്ക്.
താങ്ക് യു സോ മച്ച് ചേച്ചി.
ജാനറ്റിൻ്റെ പേര് ജാനറ്റ് ജോളി ആലപ്പാട്ട്, JJA. നമ്മുടെ ഇന്നത്തെ ഈ ടോക്ക് എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നു ജെ ജോയ്, ജോളിയുടെ ജെ ജേണി, ആലപ്പാട്ടിൻ്റെ എ ആസ്പിറേഷൻ, ഇങ്ങനെ ഈ ഒരു 3 തരത്തിൽ നമുക്ക് ഈ സംഭാഷണം കൊണ്ടുപോകാമെന്ന് എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നു. എന്ത് തോന്നുന്നു ജാനറ്റിന്?
Wow, it's so nice that you have gone ahead and put so much effort into that JJA. That's a huge thing for me, so thank you.
ജാനറ്റ്, ജോയ് എന്നുള്ള കാര്യത്തിൽ നമുക്ക് തുടങ്ങാം. ജോയ്ഫുൾ മൊമെൻറ്റ്, ഫസ്റ്റ് എവർ മിസസ് കേരള ന്യൂസിലൻഡ് ജാനറ്റ് ജോളി ആലപ്പാട്ട് എന്നുള്ള ആ അനൗൺസ്മെൻറ്റ് സ്റ്റേജിൽ തോന്നിയ ആ മൊമെൻറ്റ് ഒന്ന് ഓർത്തെടുക്കാമോ?
It was a beautiful moment because I had my entire family there, my children there, and I know that my dad was there. I could feel him, and just to hear them say Janet or Amma or Ammai, playing so many different roles in my life, it was something that I don't think I can ever put in words. It was a feeling. I felt it and I still feel it when I think about it. Yeah.
Great. നമ്മൾ പറയാറുണ്ട്, ഇപ്പം നമുക്കൊരു കാര്യം ഏൺ ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ, അച്ചീവ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ, ദിസ് ഇസ് നോട്ട് ഓൺലി മൈൻ. അങ്ങനെ തോന്നിയിട്ടുണ്ടോ എപ്പോഴെങ്കിലും ഈ ക്രൗൺ?
Absolutely. When I was going back home, my son was sitting right next to me and he was proudly holding that crown. The first thing he said was, "Can I have bragging rights?" I was like, of course, and for I think for them to experience their mother doing this, apart from all the other things that parents do, it is an influence for them too. We often say that things start from home, and when people go ahead and put themselves out of the comfort zone, your children learn from that.
Absolutely.
Right. And I have 2 of my own. But I have 2 of my brother's children as well who are my own. So for all 4 of them to feel what I felt, that was amazing. Absolutely amazing. I can never forget that moment because the way they ran to me and hugged me, that was my crown, to be very honest. Yeah.
Great. Yeah. ജാനറ്റ്, നമ്മുടെ ലിസണേഴ്സിന് വേണ്ടി ഇപ്പോൾ ജാനറ്റിനെ ഞാൻ പരിചയപ്പെടുത്തിയത് ഫസ്റ്റ് എവർ മിസസ് കേരള ന്യൂസിലൻഡ് ഫസ്റ്റ് റണ്ണറപ്പായിട്ടാണ്. ജാനറ്റിൻ്റെ ബാക്ക്ഗ്രൗണ്ട് എന്താണ്? എന്ത് ചെയ്യുന്നു പ്രൊഫഷണലി?
So professionally, currently I'm an insurance advisor. I work with people who go through very vulnerable stages in their life. When we talk about insurance, we're talking about your life, your disability, your medical cover. So at the time of need, me as an insurance advisor has to be there for them and their family to take over, to hear everything that they're going through at that time. It could be death, it could be sickness, it could be an illness, it could be an injury, where I go ahead and take on board that responsibility to process things for them. So empowerment for me is that you touch so many lives, and that is so satisfying for myself, I think. Yeah.
ഏതായിരിക്കും ഒരു ജോയ്ഫുൾ മൊമെൻറ്റ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു അച്ചീവ്മെൻറ്റ് ഇൻ കരിയർ ഒരെണ്ണം ഷെയർ ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട്?
I never knew I would be in insurance, number one. And I never knew I could fall in love with it. And in 2017, when I joined, I fell in love with it. And when I was training also, I was doing it with so much passion, and 8 hours would just
go like that. Yeah.
As a trainer, within 6 months, I was nominated as the best trainer in New Zealand. I didn't get the award because I was only in the role for 6 months. But to be nominated, that was a huge achievement for myself. Yeah. And then I came into the advisor role, and you're finding your feet, you're going ahead and trying to make sense of it all. And then last year, when I came back from maternity, I received another award for the best advisor for the quarter.
Oh, congratulations.
You know, yeah. So for me, it's always about giving my 200%.
Best, yeah.
No matter what it is, be it my work, be it being a mother, being wife, daughter, you know, whatever it is, or a friend even. It's always good to go ahead and think in your head, give it your 200%, and then everything else will just follow.
Fall in place.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
That's a good thought, Janet.
Yeah.
അതിൽ നിന്ന് നമുക്ക് നമ്മുടെ ജേർണിയിലേക്ക് വരാം. ജാനറ്റിൻ്റെ ഒരു ജേർണി എങ്ങനെയായിരുന്നു ഈ മിസ്സസ് കേരള ന്യൂസിലൻഡിലോട്ടുള്ള ജേർണി? എങ്ങനെയാണ് അപ്ലൈ ചെയ്തത്? ആ ഒരു ജേർണി ഒന്ന് ഷോർട്ടായിട്ട് നമ്മുടെ ലിസണേഴ്സിന് പറഞ്ഞു കൊടുക്കാമോ?
Yeah, sure. So we went for the Remy Tommy show. So 5 girls, my mom, myself, my sister-in-law Meryl, my sister Swapna and her mom. And we got a magazine. Well, Swapna got a magazine and then she was like, you know, there's Mrs. Kerala happening. Let's 3 of us apply. I was like, okay, let's apply. So then I applied chedu, ivru rendu perum cheyidilla, and then I was like, okay, let's go with the flow. And then they supported me quite a bit throughout the journey. Obviously my husband and my entire family, also my children. That's how I got into Mrs. Kerala, New Zealand. Yeah.
എങ്ങനെയായിരുന്നു, എത്ര മാസത്തെ ജേർണി ആയിരുന്നു, എങ്ങനെയായിരുന്നു ഓരോരോ സെഷൻസും? ഹൗ യു പ്രിപ്പയർഡ് യുവർ സെൽഫ് മെൻ്റലി, ഫിസിക്കലി, ഇമോഷണലി?
Yeah. Obviously, you know, you have your work, you have your children's activities, you have all these things, and then this extra thing. I often used to doubt myself, can I do this? You know, when I came for audition, I saw the most amazing woman with so much confidence. And I was like, wow, you know, this is great to see. But like I said, you know, for me, it's if I'm putting myself into something, let's give it a 200%. So my makeup artist, my, you know, the people who chose my clothes, they were all these 4 women, you know, behind me. So it wasn't one person. It was a representation of my family that I was going ahead with. And yeah, it is a bit daunting. You've never walked the stage. I have never walked the stage. I've never done ramp walking. Never done any of that. So, you know, the next day my body was stiff for that day. So full body uttri pain undarnu. But it's okay. It was an experience, the audition. Yeah. And then, you know, I got that phone call. I couldn't believe it. I tried to keep my cool. But, you know, I was so excited. You know, I put that phone down, straight call, jumping up and down. Everyone was so happy. So that phone call was also a moment, you know, when yourself and Atulya Chechi called. It was a moment. Then the sash ceremony. So each event, each grooming session, it wasn't just myself. It was a whole lot of people deciding what I should wear, how my look should be. You know, I felt very special, I have to say.
പോപ്പുലാരിറ്റി കൂടിയതായിട്ട് തോന്നിയിട്ടുണ്ടോ?
Definitely. You know, there's so much love coming from the community, and I'm very, very honored for that. It's really nice to see. But one thing that I've always told myself when I signed up for this, no matter what happens, always be the same person that you were when you put in those papers. So that is something that I'm very particular about. You know, whomever supported me throughout the journey, whom I didn't know, the one thing that I did after the show was I personally went ahead and messaged all of them, because they didn't need to do that. But just the fact that they have put that thought in messaging me privately, it was very important for me to appreciate that. Yeah.
മിസ്സസ് കേരള ന്യൂസിലൻഡ് ഫസ്റ്റ് റണ്ണറപ്പായ ജാനറ്റിന് ഇന്നിപ്പോൾ ഇവിടെ നിൽക്കുമ്പോൾ പഴയ ജാനറ്റും ഈ ജാനറ്റിനും പോപ്പുലാരിറ്റി കൂടുതലായിട്ട് തോന്നിയിട്ടുണ്ടോ?
Oh, definitely. You know, you have so many reels going out. Your profile is public. I made it public so that people could see. And, you know, things that I've never done before. I mean, making a reel I thought would be easy, but my God, it's very difficult. And people who do it, hats off to them. So it was all a learning journey, right? You're constantly putting those reels. You're making sure that it's reaching people. It's reaching a lot of people. So yes, popularity is something that automatically came with that. Yeah. And for example, you know, we had to do a reel. in terms of showing the public the difference between Kerala and New Zealand, or the similarity between Kerala and New Zealand.
Exactly.
And I found that reel very special to my heart, because it had my entire family. That is my unit, you know. And the way that it was shot, it was just so beautifully done. It's something that I will always go ahead and remember for my entire life. And that within my family and within my, you know, wider family also, it was very much appreciated, because it had one of the most important persons in my life, Dad, and all the others. Entire family. You know, be it Rakesh, be it my mom, my brother, my sister-in-law, my 4 children, and even Bruno. You know, he is as much of the family as all of them. So for me, that was beautiful. And work-life balance, you know, how New Zealand just celebrates it so beautifully. I think it was captured amazingly. Yeah. So it reached and it touched a lot of people. Yeah.
നല്ലൊരു ടേക്ക് അവേ ആണ് ഇപ്പം ജാനറ്റ് ഷെയർ ചെയ്തത്. എക്സ്പെഷ്യലി ഇപ്പം ജാനറ്റ് പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ എൻറ്റയർ ഫാമിലി ക്യാപ്ചർ ചെയ്ത ഒരു ഫ്രെയിമിൽ ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് നൗ എ ഡേയ്സ് ഇറ്റ്സ് വെരി ഡിഫിക്കൽട്ട് ടു ഗെറ്റ് ഓൾ ഇൻ വൺ ഫ്രെയിം, വിച്ച് യു റൈറ്റ്ലി മെൻഷൻഡ്. അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ അതിനെ കണക്ട് ചെയ്ത് ഞാൻ ചോദിക്കുകയാണ്. ഇപ്പം കുട്ടികൾ 2 പേരാണ്. അവർ വലുതാവുമ്പോൾ പഴയ മമ്മിൻ്റെ ഈ ഒരു മൊമെൻ്റ് അവർ ചെറിഷ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ എന്തായിരിക്കും അവർക്ക് ടേക്ക് അവേ ആയിട്ട് ജാനറ്റിന് ഇപ്പോൾ പറയാനുള്ളത്?
Oh, I already framed photos of myself so that they can put it in their wall. Like my amma was like this. But you know, like I said before, it's so important for not only going ahead and doing the work, the getting them into activities, but also doing something for yourself. You know, self-care. They need to understand that as well. You know, when they grow up, yeah, Amma used to do that even when she was so busy. You know, I can also do it.
Exactly.
You know, and I don't think it even needs to go to when they're older. You know, Ryan, my eldest one, has already started picking up on that. You know, yeah, I can do it. You know, we have a Kiwi culture of a can-do attitude.
Exactly.
So I think for the most important thing for me as a mother is to make sure that my children have the can-do attitude. Yeah. They should never say no to an experience, because that's how they're going to learn if it's for them or if it's not for them. So that's something that I want to embed right from the beginning, not when they look back, you know.
നല്ലൊരു തോട്ടാണ് കുട്ടികൾക്ക് ഇംപൈബ് ചെയ്ത് കൊടുക്കുന്നത് ജാനറ്റ്. ഇപ്പം നമ്മൾ കുട്ടികളുടെ കാര്യം പറഞ്ഞു, ഇതുപോലെ തന്നെ നമ്മളെ കേൾക്കുന്ന വുമനുണ്ട്. പലരും സ്കെപ്റ്റിക്കലായിട്ട് ഇപ്പോഴും ഇരിക്കുന്നുണ്ടാവും, എനിക്ക് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുമോ. ഐ എം ഷുവർ ഒത്തിരി പേർക്ക് ഇതിന് അപ്ലൈ ചെയ്യാൻ തന്നെ താല്പര്യമുണ്ടായിട്ട് മടിച്ചിരുന്നവരുണ്ട്. ചിലർക്ക് തോന്നുന്നു എൻ്റെ ടൈം കഴിഞ്ഞു പോയി എന്ന്, ചിലർക്ക് തോന്നുന്നു ഞാൻ കോൺഫിഡൻ്റ് ആണോ എന്ന്. അവരോട് ജാനറ്റിന് എന്താണ് ഒരു ഇൻസ്പയറിംഗ് ആയിട്ടുള്ളൊരു മെസ്സേജ് കൊടുക്കാൻ പറ്റുക?
Never say never, you know. Never say never, because you never know what door it then opens up for you. If you have a thought, go ahead and do it. If you have a dream, manifest it, because one day it will come true. And never back out of any experiences, because it's so important to have experiences, you know. And you will notice that when you're going ahead and doing that particular thing. Like when I was walking on stage, I mean, what a dream, right? To walk on that stage, when I stepped on, I was like, you know what, just be yourself. You know,
and
if you want
your family
it,
cheering
correct,
upon you. Yeah,
correct. You know, if you want it, the universe will conspire around you, to go ahead and get it for you. So dream and manifest big things that I do for myself. Yeah.
Couldn't agree more on that, Janet. എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നു ഒരു ഓർഗനൈസർ പെർസ്പെക്റ്റീവിൽ ഒരു കഴിഞ്ഞ 8 months ആയിട്ട് നിങ്ങളെ കണ്ടുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുമ്പോൾ ജാനറ്റ് ഒരു മാനിഫെസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്ത ഒരു ആളായിട്ട് എനിക്ക് തോന്നിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. എങ്ങനെയാണ് ഈ മാനിഫെസ്റ്റേഷൻ ജാനറ്റിൻ്റെ കരിയറിലും പേഴ്സണൽ ലൈഫിലും ഇംപ്ലിമെൻറ്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുള്ളത്?
A manifestation is one thing, you know. You need to have goals and aspirations in life, because that's the purpose that you live with every day. And I'm huge on that one. You know, I have manifested about so many things, and when I look back, it's all come true. You know, a simple thing, you know, I always manifested a small house, a big tree in front of my house, and a garden for my children. And whoever's come to my house has seen exactly that.
Same.
You know, and even with this, even with the Mrs. Kerala, or be it work, there's a particular goal that I keep for myself.
Excellent.
You know, this is what I want. These are the things I need to do to get to where I want to get, you know. Manifestation is one thing. And then the other thing is, you have to go ahead and put your effort in also.
Absolutely.
You know, you have to put that 200%, like I always say, so that you can achieve that manifestation. Yeah.
നല്ലൊരു തോട്ടാണ് ജാനറ്റ് ഇപ്പോൾ ഷെയർ ചെയ്തത്. നമ്മൾ ബിഗിനിങ്ങിൽ പറഞ്ഞു ജാനറ്റ് ജോളി ആലപ്പാട്ട്, JJA, ജോയ്, ജേർണി, ആസ്പിറേഷൻ. നമ്മളിപ്പം ജോയിയും ജേർണിയും നമ്മൾ കവർ ചെയ്തു. ആസ്പിറേഷൻ ഓൾറെഡി ടച്ച് ചെയ്തു ആ പോയിന്റ്. ഇനി മുന്നോട്ട് ലൈഫിൽ എന്തൊക്കെ ആസ്പിറേഷൻസ് ആവുള്ളതെന്ന് നമ്മുടെ ലിസണേഴ്സിനോട് ഷെയർ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുമോ?
കുറേ ആസ്പിറേഷൻസ് ഉണ്ട്. You know, this is just the beginning, you know, and age is never a limit. You can start anytime. You know, things that I haven't done when I was young, I want to do now. I want to travel the world. You learn so many things when you travel. You know, you learn about cultures. You connect with people on a different level altogether. So traveling is something that I would want to do. In terms of being an insurance advisor, at the moment, I'm finding my ground in terms of how to make myself even a little bit bigger. You know, one of my dreams is to own my own company one day. You know, where I am going ahead and giving the opportunity to other people to grow. That is something that I aspire for myself in the future. It is right now, I am taking baby steps, but that's a goal, and I will get there one day. You know, so that's my next aspiration in the next 5 to 10 years, to have my own company. Yeah.
എല്ലാവരും ഇപ്പോൾ ജാനറ്റിനെ കാണുമ്പോൾ ഒരു പക്ഷേ ആദ്യം ശ്രദ്ധിക്കുന്നത് ക്രൗണാണ്. പക്ഷേ ഈ ക്രൗണിൻ്റെ പുറകിൽ ഒത്തിരി എഫേർട്സും ഹാർഡ് വർക്കും മേ ബി സ്ട്രഗിൾസും ഉണ്ടാവും. അങ്ങനെയൊക്കെ എന്തെങ്കിലും സ്ട്രഗിളിൽ കൂടെ പോയിട്ടുണ്ടോ? എന്തെങ്കിലും ചലഞ്ചസ് ഉണ്ടായിട്ടുണ്ടോ?
Of course, you know, I think in everyone's life there is some kind of a challenge or a struggle that comes up. It's always about going ahead and coming out of it.
Absolutely.
I'm a great believer in every challenge has its solution. You know, you have to go ahead and come out of it to grow bigger and better and more confident. And that's how you're going to get confident, you know, with your experiences that you have. That's why whenever my children have a fall, that's okay. Get up.
Get up.
Let's do it again. You know, because you're going to have 10 falls. The 11th time, you are going to do well.
Yeah.
You know, and those are the kind of things I always tell my children. Never be afraid of failure, because failure is what goes ahead and makes you a winner in the end. So that's just how I've looked at life in general. Yeah.
ഇത്രയും സ്ട്രോങ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള പ്രിൻസിപ്പൾ ലൈഫിൽ വരാൻ ആരെങ്കിലും റോൾ മോഡലായിട്ട് ഉണ്ടോ ജാനറ്റിന്?
Definitely. I think, you know, when I say Janet Jolly Alapatt, there's a sense of pride in me that I am a daughter to my father, who's no longer here, and obviously my mom too, and a sister to my brother. But me and my dad, a very, very strong and special connection. You know, when I lost him, it was almost like I couldn't walk. You know, I had to learn to walk again. But the principles that he has put in us, ever since I can remember, he has helped every one person that has come into his door. And equally mom too. You know, she would never leave anyone without giving them food. You know, so those kind of things have stuck to me. And daddy would always say, tu chinta mat kar. Just do it, sab ho jayega. You know, even when we were buying a house, you know, we are not well off, we don't have all that deposit. Tu chinta mat kar, tu kar, ho jayega. And that is the kind of principle that I go ahead with. You know, my mom and dad have helped so many people. And I somehow feel that's indented in me and my brother as well, to go ahead and help whoever comes out to our way, because you never know how difficult it's for them. And maybe that one thing that you do is going to change their life. So we are a big believer of that. So yeah, daddy is someone that, yeah, I miss him. I definitely miss him. Yeah.
So trying to follow his footsteps wherever you can.
Yes, definitely. You know, he was a big family man. He bought a big house because he wanted everyone to live together over weekends. And that is exactly what we do. We are very close-knit. Yeah, very close-knit. Yeah.
I'm sure Janet, ഈ ഒരു ക്ലോസ് നിറ്റ് ഫാമിലിയിൽ നിന്നും ജാനറ്റിന് കിട്ടുന്ന ആ ഒരു സ്ട്രെങ്ത്തും ഇമോഷൻസും ഫാമിലി സപ്പോർട്ടും വളരെ വാല്യുബിളാണ്. അതുകൊണ്ട് ജാനറ്റിൻ്റെ മുന്നോട്ടുള്ള യാത്രയിൽ എല്ലാ ആസ്പിറേഷൻസും മാനിഫെസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്തതും ചെയ്യാത്തതും ആയിട്ടുള്ള എല്ലാ ആസ്പിറേഷൻസും സക്സസ്ഫുൾ ആവട്ടെ എന്ന് ഞങ്ങൾ ആശംസിക്കുന്നു. എല്ലാവിധ ആശംസകളും. താങ്ക് യു ഫോർ ജോയിനിങ് മലയാളം FM.
Thank you so much, Malayalam FM, giving such a beautiful platform, because it's reached quite a few people worldwide, and that itself, it's big enough. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.